Hey everyone, this is Zori here, back with a brand new Let's Play on Pokemon Stadium 2. So, at the end of the first Pokemon Stadium Let's Play, I couldn't decide which game I wanted to do, but I just kind of thought about it, and I felt like it kind of made sense for the next Let's Play to be Pokemon Stadium 2. I love the first one a lot, and I think the second one's even better because you get to see the trainers while they're in battle speak, basically, through text, and you kind of get to see their reactions to certain things that happen during the battle. And I think that was really nice what they did to kind of humanize the trainers a lot more. And I figured it just makes perfect sense to just do a new Let's Play on Pokemon Stadium 2. So that's what we're going to do, starting out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new game for the new Let's Play, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I've cleared my game, so now we are back from ground zero. So you can see the different options. You can do battle now here, so you can just click that option and then it'll take you into a battle with randomized Pokemon. White City, which is going to be the main attraction, and then event battle if you have 2 players to play with. And then here's a mystery gift option that you can use in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, where you can go to the Goldenrod department store and get a mystery gift from there. But what we're going to be looking at for the bulk of this Let's Play is White City. So we've got the different modes here. So we got the stadium mode. That's the big daddy right there in the center. You got your Game Boy Tower to play red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, and crystal in, just like you could in the first game with the first generation games. You have My Room, so whatever decorations you get in gold, silver, and crystal, you can see them in 3D here. Pokemon Lab, you could use this to look at the Pokedex. You can manage items, you can trade, you can do a whole bunch of fun stuff all in 3D in the Pokemon Lab. Then you have Gym Leader Castle. That's going to make up another huge chunk of the Let's Play here. So of course you got the gym leaders for Johto as well as Kanto, and then you have matches against the Elite Four as well as Red at the end as well, which is just fantastic. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Gym Leader Castle and Stadium 2 by now, but for those of you who aren't, you're going to be in for a real treat. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there for sure. Here you got the mini games, like an all new set of mini games. A lot of fun. I do regret not doing a mini game only episode of the first Stadium. So if you'd like to see me do that, then let me know in the comments below or on Twitter. If you want me to do a all mini games episode of the first Stadium as well as this one as well, because those are a lot of fun. And I'll most likely do them on hard difficulty to keep it interesting, since I don't have another person to play with. So I might do the computer on hard difficulty for that, if that's what y'all want. And then free battle. So just like the first game, you can pick 6 Pokemon or however many Pokemon, pick the rules, and do a free battle with your friends, up to 4 players. And this is going to make up another part of the Let's Play here, is the Pokemon Academy. So this is where you can learn all the ins and outs about Pokemon, essentially. And in fact, I think this is what I want to start the Let's Play on, is the Academy, because it's so great. So we're going to dive deep into here. So how this is going to work is you've got the classroom where you learn all the different ins and outs, and then you have the library over here. And if we were to click on the library option, for example, we could see like the different items you can look at, and you can even see them by generation here. So like red, blue, and yellow you can check by name or by effect. A to B, for example, and then it'll tell you about awakenings, bikes, vouchers, burn heals, what they do, all that fun stuff. You got moves, type matchups, controls, and egg groups here. But what we're going to be doing today is the classroom. So I'm thinking about splitting the lecture and the test and putting that in a separate video from the verses. And the reason why I want to do this is I don't want to make it like a super deathly long video of lecture stuff if you're not into lecture stuff. Or if you're not, conversely, if you're not into the battling, if you just want to learn more about the ins and outs, you can watch that episode and skip the battles, or you can do it the other way around. Or you can watch both, which is what I prefer. But I'm going to try to make this as interesting as possible, at least the lecture stuff. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So you'll see on the right hand side where the horsey is, we're going to have 20 topics to go through. And you'll see them right here. They're separated into categories, and we're going to scroll all the way down. We will go over all the topics, but I'm going to try to hit the main points on them as quickly as possible, so it doesn't drag on for too long. So when it comes to common rules, so today's theme is brushing up on basic rules. So the battle rules are virtually identical, so these basic rules. And you guys can freeze frame these when you're watching these, and you can read all the slides for yourself as well. That's another thing. So you'll choose 6 Pokemon. You'll choose 3 out of those 6. Defeat all your opponents. And then at the end of each topic, there's a question that you're going to have to answer. I love talking about Pokemon. What is my name? And I'll move my cam down here so you can see the questions. Your name is Earl. You silly goose. What do you mean you forgot your friggin' name already? So that was easy enough. So battle rules. So 2 or more Pokemon can't be frozen or asleep at the same time. However, 1 can be asleep and 1 can be frozen at the same time, so that's fine. You can't use self-destruct or explosion if you're the last Pokemon. You can't use Destiny Bond or Perish Song under those same circumstances either. Alright, so we're going to answer the question here. What I just said applies to which battle in Pokemon? All of them. Alright. So level evolutions. So Cubone, for instance, can learn Bone Rush at 41. However, its evolved form Marowak can't learn that until it reaches 53. So in some cases, it might benefit you to hold off on evolution if it means learning some stronger moves earlier, is basically what they're getting at. And that's what they're referencing here. So you can hit the B button to cancel evolution if you want, like I said, your Pokemon to wait to learn a more powerful move earlier on. In some cases it may work to your advantage that way. There's even instances where some Pokemon like Vulpix in Generation 1 you would have like a really tough time until like level 35 or whatever when it would learn Flamethrower. And that evolves via Firestone. So it might behoove you to wait until level 35 to evolve Vulpix into Ninetales once it learns Flamethrower. So that's another special circumstance. Alright, let's answer the question here. Cubone evolves into which kind of Pokemon? Marowak. Also, if I get any facts or details wrong, let me know in the comments below as well. Because I'm only human and I'm going to make mistakes as well. So it's okay if you guys correct me. It's all good. All good in the hood as long as we're helping each other learn about something that we enjoy. I'm all for it. So they talk about stones here, like fire stones, water stones. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Vulpix can evolve into Ninetales, but it can only learn Fire Spin. However, it can learn Flamethrower, and you might want to let it learn that before having it evolve. So this is where sites like Bulbapedia or Cerebi or whatever, Pokemon DB, they'll work to your advantage as far as research. Doing that research beforehand can help you get the best movesets and maximize your team in the best way possible. Sunkern can learn Giga Drain at 46. However, if it evolves into Sunflora at level 31, it can learn Petal Dance. But if you want it to learn this move, then it can't learn Giga Drain. One of the things I will call out about this in particular is in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, after you go to Kanto, you go to Celadon City to beat Erica. She does give you the TM19 for Giga Drain, so you can actually learn both moves, but they just don't point that out here for whatever reason. Blah 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 blah. I recommend that you time your evolutions based on the levels at which your Pokemon learn moves. Cool. Alright, when evolving Pokemon, what did I say you should consider moves? Alright. Alright, so that covers the rules section. So now we're going to do type combos. So you have stuff like normal, fire, water, grass, electric, ghost. So up until Gen 6, there were only 17 types. Until X and Y came when they added the fairy type, but back then there were only 17 types. So combo of type of Pokemon and the attack move is the type matchup. If it's good, it's double damage. Bad, it's a quarter damage or whatever. And there's also type immunities where one type has no effect on the other, like normal and ghost type moves have absolutely no effect on the other, so you might not want to use those against those Pokemon, so type matchups are really important to consider in battle. So we've got the three main foundational types, water, fire, and grass for your starters. So water is good against fire, fire is good against grass, but water is weak against grass. Say we have Totodile here. Fire type move is super effective on grass, but weak against water types. I think you guys know the drill on that. The drill on that. How many types are there in all 17? Did the one answer choice say that there were like 39 types or whatever? That's insane, dude. Alright, exploding weaknesses. So double damage. So thunder, super effective against flying Pokemon, so that would do double damage. Picked on a weak spot, so that's a critical hit. So even Faulkner, the bird user, would be aghast. Certainly attacking a water Pokemon with a grass move or a grass Pokemon with a fire move will be super effective. In contrast, if an attack is not effective, that means the type matchup sucks. And it'll be half its usual level. No effect. So again, normal and ghost types are immune to each other. Ground moves can't hit flying types. Poison moves can't hit steel types, etc. So, like, for instance, Self-Destruct is a normal move but has no effect on ghost Pokemon. And then you can learn more about the type matchups in the library that I just showed you guys at the beginning. So Self-Destruct won't work against which type Pokemon? Ghost. Alright. Type changes. Okay, so some of these moves in Gen 1 have changed from one type to the other. So for instance, Bite, which was a normal type move in Gen 1, is now a dark type move in Gen 2, because the dark type didn't exist in Gen 1. Karate Chop went from a normal type move to a fighting type move from Gen 1 to 2. That's another example. Also, there's Pokemon that have changed types. So Magnemite and Magneton, which were pure electric in Gen 1, are now steel types and electric types in Gen 2. The bad news is it gives them double weakness to ground types. So that's something to consider if you're using Magnemite and Magneton in battle. Does the enhanced defense. This gives them make for a welcome change. So there's even type matchups that have changed slightly apparently. So ghost moves are now effective on psychic types. Bug moves are not as effective on poison types as they were before. And again, you can find all that stuff at the library. Where do I recommend that you study and review data? At the stadium. You got like a little Pokédex or a handbook in front of you while you're battling. That would be nice. Status. Alright. So they added moves like Attract and Nightmare that cause infatuation, so that can keep you from attacking a Pokemon of the opposite gender as you. And then Nightmare steals away a quarter of your HP if you're asleep. It's like a different kind of Dream Eater, essentially, except the user doesn't recover HP like it does with Dream Eater. And then Curse works two different ways. So for Ghost Pokemon, the opponent will lose. The user will take away half its own HP, but the opponent will suffer a quarter of their HP loss. But for a non-ghost type, if you use Curse, it'll raise your attack and defense and lower your speed. So generally for a Pokemon that like Snorlax, that's really slow, a move like Curse would work great for that, to give it more of that bulkiness that it would need. Some status problems even affect stats. So Burn weakens attack and Paralysis reduces speed. Good stuff. Good old stuffy stuff. I told you about conditions that were similar to status problems. Which of these was I talking about? Attract. That's correct. I'm glad you listened to me. Alright, moves and Pokemon types. So as you know, Pokemon and moves come in a variety of types. When a Pokemon is attacking, if its type move is the same as its move type, so they reference same type attack bonus here. That's basically what that is. What you hear all over YouTube is stab. This is what they're talking about right here. So Pikachu being an electric type, using Thunderbolt, which is an electric type move, will have 1.5 times its usual power. So normal Pokemon in the same way, using normal type moves. course, this combo only multiplies with power by 1.5. Support moves that aren't used for attack are not affected. So Gengar using a ghost type move such as Spider Confuse Ray. In such a case, the move's accuracy or effect will not be boosted, since those are support moves that do weird stuff to the opponent, aside from damaging them outright. There are moves that inflict fixed amount of damage. So that's stuff like Seismic Toss and Nightshade and Dragon Rage and Sonic Boom. They do the same amount of damage every time. Or they'll do damage equal to the user's level. So we'll come back to that in a future episode. But for right now, we're going to answer this question. Which type of move is powered up by 1.5 times when used by a ghost type? Ghost types. And that's your stab. Right here. Support moves. I'm not necessarily a fan of these, particularly in these games where everything is so slow and you need to deal the most amount of damage possible in the smallest amount of time possible. So Thunder Wave and Confuse Ray, I don't have a problem with these. These are two of the best support moves out there. You can use Safeguard to block status, or you could use Heal Bell to cure status. Some stats such as attack, defense. So Belly Drum and Swords Dance will boost attack. In fact, Belly Drum will cut your HP down in half and maximize your attack stat outright. So you can really like destroy somebody with a good attack stat there. And then Haze will nullify any stat change. The problem is this works for both Pokemon on the field, so you gotta be really careful when you use Haze, because you might accidentally reset your opponent's stats when trying to reset your own, and then giving them an advantage again that you took away before. So be careful with that. Then you have Reflect and Light Screen for physical and special attacks respectively. And then you have moves like Spiderweb and Mean Look that prevent the opponent from switching out. And then Foresight will cancel out the opponent's evasiveness. So some good stuff. Some good stuff there. For all the Pokemon, that'll be... Which one restores it? Heal Bell. Heal Bell. I don't know what Conversion 2 does. It's exclusive to Porygon 2, but I don't know what Conversion 2 does. I can learn that in the library, though. So I'll definitely look that up on my own time. But for right now, we're going to take a look at added effects of moves. So Paralysis, Poison, Freezing, Burn, and Confusion. So if you go to basically the first major town of every mainline Pokemon game in the series, they should have something like this somewhere that explains all the different status conditions. So Dizzy Punch, a 1 in 5 chance of confusing the target. Don't mess with Kangaskhan. Sorry, Espeon. When certain moves such as Headbutt or Bite strike first, the defending Pokemon may flinch. So really this only works if you're faster, so just keep that in mind. No. There are also moves that inflict damage and lower stats like defense. So Psychic. So in Generation 1, Psychic was killer because Special was all one stat. Whereas, and we'll get to this in a later topic as well, with Special Defense and Special Attack with the Special split. But Psychic in Gen 2 onward lowers only your Special Defense. So keep that in mind as well. It has no bearing on Special Attack anymore as of this generation. And then some moves raise the attacker's stats, inflicting damage. Steel Wing raises the user's defense. And I gotta take care of something real quick and I'll be right back, guys, so stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back. We're going to answer this question now. What is the added effect of the move Fire Blast? We're going to get burned. Burn, baby, burn. Recovery moves, so this is stuff like recover, milk drink, soft boiled. So I know for a fact in, I want to say Prime Cup Master Ball in the first stadium, the Cool Trainer has a Mew that can learn soft boiled, for instance, that'll recover a lot of HP. Each one of these restores HP by exactly 1/2 of the max HP. And then Morning Sun, Synthesis, and Moonlight are dependent on the time of day they're used. In battle, however, these moves restore HP by 1/2 the max HP, regardless of the time of day. Then you have Leech Life, Mega Drain, Giga Drain, Dream Eater, and Absorb. These return half the HP of that damage to the user. So those are healing moves. And then Heal Bell again eliminates all status issues. And Rest, the ultimate recovery move, in my opinion, will get rid of status as well as restore HP to full. But the caveat is your Pokemon will sleep for 2 turns every time. At the same time, any stats that were affected by problems such as lowered attack due to burn or reduced speed due to paralysis will also be fixed. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that about Rest. I didn't know that it cured any stat drops as well as status. Good night, Snorlax. I love that. Even Rest can't change stats that were altered by other support moves or by other means. So attack raised during Meditate would remain unchanged, as would accuracy reduced by an opponent's splash. Okay. Oh, they're talking about burn and paralysis. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Okay. But stuff like lowered accuracy won't be cured by Rest. Okay, got it. Incidentally, to restore altered stats, you can either switch out or use Haze. Alright, got it. Got it. Which move inflicts damage and restores the user's HP by half? I want to say Dream Eater. Yeah. Of course, the opponent has to be asleep for that to work. And then set damage moves. Do you know about set damage attacks? Fixed amounts. Yeah, so we were referencing that a little bit earlier with Sonic Boom, Dragon Rage, Nightshade, Seismic Toss. And then Psywave is interesting. So it can inflict a range of literally only 1 damage. I've seen it do literally like 1 to 0 damage. Up to 1.5 times its normal level. So that can be an insane amount of damage. Something you need to know. Even if your Pokemon's type and the attack type move are identical. So with those types of moves, you don't get same type attack bonus off of those because they're set damage. Similarly, Strength and Mega Punch are also ineffective against ghost types. Okay, so this is an interesting change. So, in Pokemon Stadium, the first one, you could use Seismic Toss on the Ghost Trio and it would work. The same with Super Fang, and I've never really understood why. But here, they've cut all that out, so Seismic Toss apparently no longer works against Gengar. Which is good, that makes more sense to me. Alright, let's answer the question. Which move inflicts damage regardless of attack and defense? Seismic Toss. So beat up was an answer choice. What beat up does is it attacks Pokemon based on the amount of Pokemon you have in your party. So if you have 6 Pokemon in your party, then beat up will attack the opponent 6 times, which could be really powerful. Dark type move. If you only have 1 Pokemon in your party, then it'll only attack once. So that's basically what beat up does, in case you all were wondering. Moves and tactics. Fly and dig. 2 turn attacks. Suppose your opponent uses a move such as Solar Beam or Skull Bash that requires the user to charge up for a turn. If you immediately use dig or fly, then they're going to have to release their attack the next turn, which means it'll miss. Good. For instance, you can poison your opponent, inflicting damage on every turn, then use fly or dig. Even though your Pokemon won't be able to attack, it'll avoid getting hit, and it'll still do damage to the opponent. Yeah. I mean, you could use a move like Toxic to poison the opponent and then go up into the air or go underground on the first turn. And even though you won't do damage from those moves, obviously, the poison will still take effect from Toxic, is what they're talking about. And then Safeguard or Reflect. Keep using 2-turn moves to waste time over the 5 turns that those moves last. Good stuff. You learned a lot of good stuff from the Academy here. That's why we're doing these episodes first. 2-turn attack. Alright. Mood changes. So this is what I was referencing earlier as far as mood changes. So Bite was a normal type move in Gen 1, now it's a dark type move, and then Karate Chop, a normal type move in Gen 1, fighting type move in Gen 2, Gust, normal type move in Gen 1, flying type move in Gen 2. So there's a lot more uses as far as everything not being just another normal type attack anymore. Damage ratings for some moves, Double Edge, Wing Attack, and Dig have changed. So in Generation 1, Wing Attack literally had the same power as Peck. Now it's better. I'll say that much. It's not amazing, but it's better. And then the accuracy has also changed for moves like Blizzard, Whirlwind, and Rock Throw. Light Screen and Reflect are now effective for 5 turns each, so they create barriers on the spot and will remain in place regardless of whether you switch out or not. Okay? Good, let's answer the question. Light Screen lasts for how many turns? 5. 5. Residual effect changes. Target Pokemon's type was identical to the move type. Now even if the defending Pokemon's type is identical, the added effect. So Electabuzz could become paralyzed by Spark. Oh, okay. I don't think this works for Fire Pokemon or Ice Pokemon. But Electric Pokemon can still get paralyzed. Poison Pokemon are immune to getting poisoned. Yeah. Residual effects. What condition do fire type Pokemon not easily become burned? Alright. Switching. So if you're familiar with Pokemon Stadium, if you win the entire match without losing a single Pokemon, you'll get a continue. Of course, it'll take 1 full turn to switch, which will leave you vulnerable to an attack. There are times where one must learn to endure. I normally do that in Gym Leader Castle because continues don't matter there. So for me, it's good most of the time to leave a weak Pokemon in. To endure, yes. Here's the special split that we mentioned earlier. Special attack and defense. So Amnesia, for instance, sharply raises only special defense this time. It used to raise special back when it was back when special attack and defense was one stat. Now special attack is completely irrelevant when it comes to Amnesia. Growth, on the other hand, only raises special attack, so special defense is not even considered by Growth. Alright, let's go. Stat special was split into special attack and special defense. Okay, that's it. 2 more topics to go, guys. So we have physical and special moves. So physical attack refers to attack. Physical defense refers to defense. Special attack refers to special attack, and same with special defense. So every normal fighting bug, flying, ground, rock, ghost, poison, steel type is physical. Every fire, water, electric, grass, ice, psychic, dragon, and dark is special. I'm so glad they changed this starting in the 4th gen, where they even split amongst their own types. So if you had like a punching move in Generation 4, regardless of its type, it would always be a physical move if it actually involved a body part landing on the opponent. I'm so glad they changed that in Generation 4. So bug type moves are physical 100% of the time in Gen 2. So Heracross with Mega Horn is killer with a high attack stat. So let's get this question popping. Mega Horn depends on attack. And we'll see that in the Challenge Cup as we go through the Challenge Cup. Because all those Pokemon are randomized as well as their movesets and their stats. So it's going to get really interesting. It's going to be exciting to do the Challenge Cup in particular. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and then they talk about held items like Mystic Water and Black Belt. They raise water and fighting type moves by about 10%. And I think every type has like a type specific move like that. That there's no link between the item and the type of Pokemon using it. Yeah, those items boost the type of the move, not the type of the Pokemon. So a Hard Stone raises the power of rock type moves. So even though Marrow's a water type and it can learn Rollout, the Hard Stone will power that up. Will power up Rollout by 10%. And of course, Stadium rules require that every Pokemon's hold item be entirely different. Yeah, last topic, guys. Which type of move is powered up if a Pokemon is holding a Hard Stone rock type? Okay, that's it. I'm also playing this on my TV as well, so if I look off to the side, that's what I'm looking at. Just so y'all know, we're gonna take this quiz right here. Should be pretty easy. Reflect lasts for how many turns? 5. Think hard. Amnesia sharply raises special defense. Politoed is which type of Pokemon? Water. Easy. Keep them coming, Mr. Earl. In the Stadium Battle Tournament, which of these conditions will not affect 2 Pokemon at the same time? Frozen. Because remember, one can be asleep and one can be frozen, but no two Pokemon can have the same of those two. Which stat goes down for Burns attack? How's it going? Going pretty good. So, which type of move is physical? Flying. All flying moves are physical in Gen 2. The other three are special. Ghost type Pokemon are weak against Dark. Which move's power will be multiplied by 1.5 times if it's used by Mantine, which is a water and flying type, so Wing Attack would be powered up by 1.5 times, being a flying type move. Which of the following types is new in Gold and Silver version Steel? Last one, guys. Let's go for that 100. Which of these can't be brought into Stadium's battle in Awakening? That's not really a held item. It's something you can use in battle or outside of battle, but you can't hold it. Yes, we got that 100. We're keeping it 100 in our debut episode of Pokemon Stadium 2. So that'll do it for this episode of the lecture and the test edition of the trainer class for the Pokemon Academy for Pokemon Stadium 2. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I tried to keep the text as interesting as possible. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You can get at me on Twitter at Zori Gaming, and I'll have a link to that in the comments below as well. Also, you can leave feedback, or in the description I should say, but you know what I mean. You can also leave feedback in the comments below this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like, hit the bell for notifications, and let's see if I can think of a question of the day. So a question of the day as far as the debut episode of Pokemon Stadium 2 is, what is your favorite new feature for Pokemon Stadium 2 that wasn't in the first game? Let me know that in the comments below. Honestly, my favorite feature would probably be how they revamped the Gym Leader Castle, and we'll see that as we go throughout the Let's Play, because what happens is not every gym requires 4 straight battles in order to win the gym badge anymore. Some of them have 4 battles, some might have 3, 2, or once we get to the Olivine Gym, Jasmine's going to be the only trainer in that one. And then once we get to Kanto, the only trainers that will be there are going to be the gym leaders themselves. So I love how they redid the Gym Leader Castle. I would say that's going to be my favorite new feature of Stadium 2 that wasn't in the first Stadium. Or it's been vastly improved. I just think this is a better game overall. So that would be my answer to that. So next time we're going to actually get into the versus in the trainer class, where we're actually going to get to do some battling and put what we learned in this episode into practice here. So be sure to come back next time. In fact, I'm going to make that episode right now for you guys. So this is your host Zori signing off of this episode, and we'll be right back for the verses. Please stay with us.